Good morning. Welcome back to UK Here We Grow. Over the years, we've been approached by people, we've been emailed, we've been messaged and all sorts of things. And they've been asking us, well, it's all very well having a big allotment or a lot of space like you have, but what can I do? I live in a flat, or I have only a small little terrace garden, or my back garden's all concrete. What can I do? Well, the answer, guys, is right here in containers, okay? And we are going to do this episode on container gardening, and later on in the year we will follow these up. Now, this episode may go on for a little while because we're going to plant up quite a few things, but it's not only flowers that we can grow in containers. There's a lot of veg as well. So if you want to eat healthy and you don't have a lot of space, this is the way to go, and we're going to show you right here, right now. Okay, so first thing we need to do is get rid of some of these things here. So I'm going to just stick some of these ones down at the moment. What I have here, guys, okay, is some clover compost. Now in this compost, as you can see, I've added some perlite, okay, which will help with it'll aid drainage, but it will also stop the compost impacting within the container, okay. And what we're going to do, we're going to use this nice big basket. Now, all of these containers that I use here today can be purchased from the Oakland's website with our code, which is UK Here We Grow 5, and you'll get a 5% discount on everything on the Oakland's website. But they are really cheap baskets and containers, and they have all sorts. So what we're going to do over the last few weeks, as some of you know, we've been getting a fruit garden sorted, and these guys were left off. Now, I've planted them in 3s and 4s within these tubs, and we've just left them, and some of them got strawberries on now. But I want to get them out of here, and what we're going to do, we're going to put them into this basket here. Now, to aid me, I'm just going to take a big huge pot to put here. I'm going to stick everything inside this pot, and all that's going to do is help me to secure it. We have one of these sort of hessian, or the sort of hemp type basket liners, okay, and all you do is just feed it down into the basket, get rid of the label, like so. Now, they're great for a couple of reasons, okay. Firstly, they're there to protect the soil from being washed out, and you can literally just put it there, but they already come pre-cut. They've got little cuts within the liner, okay, so that you can stick plants through. Alright, so that's ideal. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to put in some compost. Now this compost, like I said, it's got some perlite in it, but it's got 4 months worth of feed, which is ideal for these type of things. But I've put in some extra bloodfish and bone. Strawberries are quite hungry plants, so that's what we're going to do. Now, it's really a bit late to be sort of bashing these around, but we're going to do it anyway. Look at the root structure on them, okay, so just hope now that we can get these through. Okay, excellent. I might have to make some of these holes a little bigger, but what we're going to do is try and feed them, find a hole in the net there and feed it through. Now, if it won't fit like this, what we'll do, we'll just move that back, we'll feed it through, just squish them roots in. They're not going to mind, strawberries are quite resilient, and just push them through like that. Fold this back around it, and we'll just leave that like that, hanging out the bottom of the basket or the container like that. Now, you don't have to stick them on the sides, you can just stick a load in the top, but I want to stick them around the sides as well. So we're going to do a similar thing here. Just going to open it up and then feed this back around it there like that, and that'll do the job nicely. There we go. So there's 3 in this one, guys. Alright, again, we'll do another one around by here. So I think what we'll do is put 4 around the sides. I'm going to just mix that soil into that. It's not going to be a problem. Don't be afraid. Okay, you're not going to hurt the plant as long as you've got the root structure. Excuse me making a noise here. Just tuck it away like I said, push it through and feed it back on itself. So that's 4 around the basket. Now what we want to do, we're going to put 5 or 6 maybe. We'll see how it goes along the top. In fact, we'll use the last of them. We'll put them all around the top. What we're going to do is split that one. Put him in the centre. And we're going to put this one here. Okay guys. So that's what we have here. Now as these grow now over the next few weeks, just need to put some soil in it. Here we go. As these grow now over the next few weeks, we will give you some updates on it. But now all you need to do is literally fill in with compost around the plants. Sit them down if you need to. And this will be great for hanging up outside the back door or something like that. The kids are going to love picking strawberries off it. And it's a great way to sort of get some fresh fruit into your garden or your patio or whatever it is you have. A little bit more here. There we go. So we just got one thing to do now, which with hindsight I should have thought of. We're going to sit that there. We're going to pull this over. Feed that through there, and we're going to hook it on here. Here. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's as simple and as quick as that. Whoops. Don't have them undo on themselves like I just did. There we go, guys. So it's as simple as that. One hanging basket for strawberries. Okay, yes, it looks a bit of a mess at the moment, but give that a couple of weeks and that will sort itself out. So I'm going to lay that one down there. Nice big basket as well there, guys. Okay, so let's put that out of the way. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be using this. It's a big 3-foot sort of container. Now, what I want in this, I'm going to use the exact same mix. Okay, there's a couple of holes in the bottom of it, so you haven't got to worry about that. Don't be afraid, just chuck the compost in this, guys. Okay, we're using the exact same mix. Now, what we're going to grow in here are something that people wouldn't normally associate with containers. And they're beans. Now, it's not too late to sow beans, okay? But a lot of people, they worry about sowing beans because they say, oh, they haven't got the space or whatever the case being. But there are various types of beans that you can grow that are dwarf varieties, okay? Now, the one we have here is a Yin-Yang Bean. Okay, and they're a dwarf French kidney bean, and I'll show you why they're called yin-yangs. Very similar in pattern to the seeds that Brian sowed a little while back called pea beans. Now the pattern's pretty much identical, only that they are like a burgundy and white colour, whereas these are black and white like true yin-yang. Okay, and all we're going to do with these, Now these will grow up to about sort of this height, but you're going to get lots of little beans off them. So we're going to sow these in the figure of 5, okay, and then that way we will have lots of little beans coming off these. So it's a great way of getting some veg into your diet as well. Excellent, that's all we need. Put them back in there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to top that off with some compost. Obviously it won't have the leadfish and bone or perlite in it, but it will do first. Try and leave it about an inch from the top, guys, and the reason for that is that you can water it without it overflowing. It'll also give the seedlings, when they come up, a little bit of protection from the wind. So don't forget, all of these containers that I'm using today can be bought on the Oakland's website. They are superb company for things like that. They're very, very cheap. You know, those of you that bought the 30-litre pots, I haven't got one by me at the moment, but those who bought the 30-litre pots for things like your potatoes and you know, your fruit and all sorts of things that can be grown in your trees and what have you, they are perfect, and you know that you're getting next day delivery and all sorts. Okay, so don't be afraid to get over to their site and have a look. The link will be in the description below. Anyway, so that's this one done now, guys. Nice little tray of Yin-Yang beans there, and again we'll follow this. All I've got to do now is give it a watering and that'll be up. Okay guys, so just now I recorded a section using some of these begonias here in some conical wicker baskets. Now this is a round one. Unfortunately I didn't have the sound recorder recording, so I'm not sure what the sound's going to be like. So what we're going to do this one as well, just to make sure that we've got it covered. Again, wicker basket with a liner, it's got holes in it. Now we've added a little bit of perlite, but also in this one we've got some vermiculite, and that's only because we've run out of perlite, but it'll do the same job. It'll just lighten up the compost, it'll stop it compacting. Okay, we've also added some gel retaining crystals in here, and that's just to help retain moisture, because baskets are notorious for drying out. It's really imperative that you keep them moist, guys, all right? And that's down to you now, because once it's not in the ground, this little self-contained unit relies on you watering it. If you don't water it, it's going to dry out and the plants are going to die. Okay, so we're going to just do this one as well now with what we got left of these begonias. But what I was saying was, in that video, was these begonias are nice sturdy plants. Okay, they were, if I can find it, they were sent to me in this container here. There's 150 plants in that container, and as you can see, it's smaller than my fingernail, each cell. So they had to be planted on, and that's what they've come to. Okay, it's taken about 4 weeks to get there, and we've got other varieties of stuff, and that's going to come on as we go. All right, but so what I was saying when I was doing these baskets beforehand is that don't be afraid to just to get your hands in there, have a go. So it's great to be able to bring some colour to the plots. Let me close this door. It's great to be able to bring some colour to the plots, guys. All right, but don't forget, it's all you have to do is have a crack at it. Plants are really resilient, so don't be afraid to have a go and use them. So all we're going to do is just sit these plants in here. Okay, and they will grow up quite nice. We're going to use quite a bit of this, I should imagine, and these will make a really good display in the next couple of months, just when we need it, because the veg side of things will be coming to fruition. So don't be afraid to get him in. And things like that you have to watch for, guys. Look at the size on that slug. That's my fault for not watching it, but we'll dispatch him now. I'm going to put him in a bucket out here a moment. Right, he's in a bucket ready. We'll dispatch him at a later stage. It's been absolutely tipping down here for a few days, and now I'm recording, the sun has come out. Now I've got a clump here, okay, and I'm actually going to just sit that clump right in the centre there. Don't be afraid to bed them in. And I've got a couple of others, and I'm going to sit them in the back here as well. This will be a really good bed the time it's done. Now when you're spreading compost over them, don't be afraid, you're not going to hurt them. It'll settle down, wash off and everything else. But all you're looking to do now is just to bed them in. Running out of compost, but we'll get there. There we are. So we're pretty much done. And all I need now is just one little bit further push. Just up to under there. Here we are, guys. So, over the next few weeks, now give this a good water, and over the next few weeks now, this is going to push out. These begonias are going to really do a good job there, and they'll be away. Now, as we've already seen, you can grow lots of veg and some really nice flowers in baskets. You really don't need to be sort of held back just because you've got a small area or a concrete jungle, if you like. Brian is now going to show you a few other things you can do which might help you in the kitchen.
Hiya folks, well we're going to talk about a little bit about containerised gardening. Obviously you can see in front of me I've got lots of different containers with lots of different things growing in them. Today I'm going to do a little herb garden. Very easy, very simple, and very actually quite cheap to do. Most herb plants this time of year, you know, beginning of June, are quite cheap in your garden centres. You can grow them from seed, but to be honest, at £1 a pot, £1 a plant, you can't really go wrong. The reason I'm doing herbs is because I find that although I grow herbs here on the allotment, I don't really use them that much. My kitchen is sort of 3 miles that way, and my idea behind this is that if you've got herbs next to where you're cooking, you're far more likely to be using them. And whether that be sort of on the windowsill at home if you haven't got a garden, or next to the barbecue on a low wall, you know, you think, oh yeah, we'll have some of that, and in it goes. So I'm going to show you some containers that I'm going to be using. We'll head into the shed and I'll show you how to pot one of these things up, a little herb garden. Okay, so these are the containers that I'm going to be using. I'm not going to use this actual big one. This is a full-on 3-footer, a little bit big for what I need today. But what I will be using is these slightly smaller ones. These are available from Oakland Gardens. You can go on their website and get these. Brilliant value as well. You know, they're not expensive at all. But if you've got like a little windowsill at home, something like that sitting on the windowsill, full of all your herb garden, very nice too. So I'm going to actually start with a little one. I've got a 2-footer and I'm going to do this one here. So all I'm going to do is I've got some compost. It's pretty dry though, so it's going to need a very good watering afterwards. I've also added into this a little bit of blood, fish and bone, just to give it a bit of feed. And I'll firm that down a little bit. Okay, so first one I think I'm going to put in here, I'm going to have some parsley. Like I say, a little plant like that, £1 in your local garden centre. Excellent value. I think they've been watered as well this morning. Nice little root system on there as well, lovely. So I'm going to put in, I think, probably 3 plants into here. Just put that up and around. This is something you can do with your kids as well. You know, a little herb garden to start teaching them about the different herbs that you can get them to smell them and taste them, etc. I know my little one's always grabbing the mint. So that's parsley. I'm going to put some sage in next to that and get it out. There we go. Oh, wow, look at that root system on that. It's been in there a while. Okay. I might just see if I can tease them out a little bit because they look a little bit root bound, that one. Okay, that'll do. So this one I'm going to put in. I wonder if I can get 4. No, let's do 3. A little bit of sage. Let's do. That's quite big, that one. Don't really want that. Let's do some coriander in this one. Pull that out of the way. And coriander, you do need to keep well watered, otherwise it'll just go to seed. It's notorious for going to seed as well. So, oh blimey, I can't even get that out. Come on. That's bone dry, that is, as well, so that's going to need a very good watering in a minute. Okay. Make sure it's all well firmed in. And then water. Plenty of water. If you're going to be doing these things indoors, obviously don't drill the bottoms out. But if you're going to put it outside, you will need to just get a small drill bit. In fact, on the bottom of these, I'll just show you. You've got, difficult to see probably, you've got these little round sort of moulded circles on the bases of these types of containers. And you just basically pop a drill bit straight through there, and it's very, very thin, that plastic there, as compared to around it, and they will just literally pop out, and then that's your ready-made drainage all done. Right, so I'm going to give this a little bit more water, and then I'm going to plant up the next one. I filled it up with the compost. The first one I'm going to put in on this one is some French tarragon. Now, it does need a little bit of space, French tarragon. It's not too keen on being too close to other herbs, so I'm going to put one at each end, and it can just fill up and live there quite happily. Quite good to use tarragon in things like pickles, chutneys, anything sort of vinegary, really. It's nice with chicken, things like that as well. Pretty much a good all-rounder. It's got a slight aniseed flavour to the leaves. Okay, so they're going to live in there. Okay. Incidentally, if you do want to buy any of these containers and you go to the Oakland's website, don't forget we've got that discount code that you can use, which is UKHWG5, and that'll give you 5% off of anything on their website. So that's quite useful. Little sage plant, I'm going to pop that one in the middle, because these three will die back, and hopefully they'll come back next year. So these are the ones that I'm going to give pretty much the most space to. So these will be like, it's almost considered to be the high value herbs, as it were, because they're going to be staying. The rest of them, they're only really annuals and they won't do too much more. Oh, with the exception of chives. Got to have chives. And incidentally, with chives, once they form their purple flower head, if you take all them off and then cut them right back down, you will actually hopefully get a second growth in the same season, so you can effectively crop twice with chives. Let me just have a little think. What have I got left here to put in? Chives. I think that might be enough, because I think I want to give this one a fair bit of space. So with that, I'm just going to do chives. And again then, this whole planter now I won't have to touch again, because all of these will come back the following year. all that I'll need to do with them is give them a little bit of a liquid feed. Okay. Again, plenty of water. In fact, I won't use that. I should take this one out and do it with the watering can, because it's going to need a fair amount in there. And this one will be living outside, so like I say, you will need to drill the holes in the bottom. So that's it. A bit of easy containerised gardening. You know, it's not rocket science. It's not hard. No excuses. So you can have your own little herb garden. This one's going to be going home with me, and it's going to be living right next door to the barbecue. I've got a perfect spot for it. So see you again. Thanks for liking, subscribing, tuning in.
So guys, as you can see, even herbs, you know, the thing is endless. Now, Brian done a fantastic job with the herbs, and he's going to be able to pick those outside his back door as and when he needs them, in the kitchen at the time he needs it. So you don't get any fresher than that. Another bucket or a square plastic container now from Oakland's again. Okay, and the reason we support Oakland so much, guys, is because they have a fantastic range. They've got cheapest prices around. The customer service is second to none. You know, they really do work hard to make sure you, the customer, get the best deals. They source it in and buy it by thousands of units so that they can give you the best price possible, and you're not going to find it anywhere else. And then you've got that discount code on top, 5% if you use the UK Here We Grow 5 discount code. It's great. So what I've done here, okay, I've created some more compost. This time there is no feed in this compost other than what's already in the clover compost. Okay, again, vermiculite in it, because one quick other thing that we're going to do while we're here, we're going to fill this bucket up with it, and it's pretty much going to swallow most of this, if not all of it. And I may even need to get some out of the bag that's by the side of me. In fact, I will. Give me a sec. So we're going to break this up. I'm going to add a bit more vermiculite to it, just to keep it nice and fresh. I'm trying to keep it sped up for you guys. There we go. Okay, so just get this in there. Can you guess what it is yet? Right. So just literally fill it right up, guys. Don't be afraid. About an inch from the top. There we go. Excellent. Nice deep container. Excellent for growing carrots, guys. Okay, so no excuses. If you've got somewhere you can stick this container, and it can be a spare room as long as it's got a little bit of light, you've got no problems at all. Now, there is one word of caution here, okay? When you're sowing carrots, don't sow them too thickly, guys, because you will end up having to pull them out to thin them out, and the last thing you want to be doing is pull them out and a carrot fly get hold of them. Okay, but we're going to drop them on the hand. I'm literally just going to sow a few. Now, what my son likes on his cooked dinners is baby carrots. Okay, so once they do get to a certain size, I'll be pulling these. They're only in here to get small carrots for my son, but I'm using a deep container for that reason, just in case I don't get around to pulling them, and they're there. We don't want any more of them. I've sown them quite thinly. One other thing now, over the top of it, just a very light dusting. Okay, don't be afraid to use something to just push it down. Let me get This is just a little spare bit of timber, just happens to fit this perfectly. Just lightly press it down, and what that does, it just ensures that the seed makes contact with that soil. We'll give that a watering and we're away. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope it's of interest to you guys who don't have the space that we have on these allotments. We're very lucky in the UK when we can get an allotment. For those who've got them, they're a great space to have, and we really need to protect them. But it doesn't mean if you haven't got one or a garden that you can't grow your own veg or grow your own flowers, okay? There's no excuses, guys. Get yourself some containers. Get over to the Oakland's website, get yourself some containers and start gardening now. Over the next few weeks we'll have some more videos out about some other things that we can do with container gardening. So just stay tuned for that. I know this is a long episode, but we just wanted to get a few things in now, and keep your eyes peeled. For those of you who haven't signed up to our newsletter, okay, sign up to it tonight, alright, because you may find that there's a pretty good deal coming up for you guys with regards to these, alright, so keep your eyes peeled, and if you haven't already, sign up to the newsletter. Anyway guys, that's it from myself and Brian. I hope you've had a good day, and don't forget all the videos on the left hand side of me here. Feel free to have a little view through those. We've got tons of information on the site. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below us, and of course there's always more information on our website. Get over there, that's where deals are happening, you know, for you guys, you know, and there's all sorts of stuff going on there. There's how-tos and what have you, and if you want any advice or anything like that, get yourself over to our Facebook groups, because you know, the people on there are really knowledgeable, and they're more than willing to help you. Anyway guys, from myself and Brian, I hope you have a great day. Bye.